In this lecture, we'll be covering filters, shorthands, and modifiers. Filters in Vue can be used to apply common text formatting, and they can be used with mustache interpolations. When I say mustache interpolations, that simply means whenever we write something in double curly braces. So over here, as we have title coming up or content coming up, we can apply filters on these and we can change the look and feel of the text. For instance, if I want to capitalize the content, we can make use of filters to do that. Let's take one example over here. So here you can see that we have now introduced filters as well. Earlier we had methods. Now with filters, we define what exactly that filter is going to do. For instance, over here, we have this capitalize filter, which is taking a value as a parameter, and if that value is null or empty, then it's returning that itself. Otherwise, it's just updating it with uppercase value. So the first character becomes uppercase and the rest ones are then appended to it. Now, in order to apply this filter, what we'll need to do is over here in our mustache syntax, we just need to add this by having this pipe as a differentiator. So content, pipe symbol, and then the name of the filter. Save this now. So now when I run this one, you can see that I have made this C small, and here we have this green color coming up, then content and the filter. So now when I run this, you can see the green one over here is the one which is having the filter applied. That's why the C is capital, but the other text, the same content, is being shown over here without the filter, and that is having lowercase. So this way we can make use of filters to apply text transformations on different contents that we make use inside the mustache interpolations. Now the next thing that we'll be covering in this lecture is shorthands. Now usually you can see that we are making use of this prefix V dash for on, and over here as well for key up, for bind. So for all the templates which are being managed by Vue.js, you can make use of the shorthand operator, and that is basically removing the V dash altogether. So for instance, over here where we are making use of vbind attribute, instead of this you can just have this colon symbol, class comp visible, and here you can see that it's still coming up with the bind attribute. All the course names are also coming up. Similarly, for on shorthand operator, that is over here we have on click. Instead of this on colon, we can just have this @click symbol. And now if I go ahead and save this and we click on this message, flash message, in the console you can see that the log is coming up. Let's click one more time. There you go. So here you must have noted a couple of things. First one over here, when you're making use of bind, you can just remove it with colon symbol, and when you're making use of v dash on, you can just make use of the symbol. And these two are valid characters for attribute names, and all Vue.js supported browsers can parse it correctly, and the shorthand syntax is totally optional. Now let's go ahead and take a look at modifiers. This actually we have already covered in previous lectures, but we haven't introduced it with that particular name. So modifiers are special postfix denoted by a dot, which indicate that a directive should be bound in some special way. So here you can see that this dot directive that we have, dot enter, is one such modifiers, which says capture enter. So on press of the enter key, we are calling this function capture enter. Similarly, you can have on submit dot prevent. So whenever the submit function will take place, it will prevent the form from submitting it. So all such postfixes that are denoted by a dot symbol and that indicate that a directive should be bound in a special way are known as modifiers in Vue. One such example is over here, .enter. In the next lecture, we'll be covering computed property.